All right, again, this is Melanie, the scrapbook lady, and I just wanted to share with you where I am with my 50th birthday album at this point. I took a little time, and what I'm going to share with you is some of my secrets when it comes to making a very large book, preparing for that. So the very first thing we did was we added the sleeves, the 12 by 12 post sleeves, and I've loaded all of the sheets with different colors, different shades of purple. Now, what's most important about this is if you look at my book and you look at the spine, what you'll see is every 10 pages I add 2 of these expanders. And what happens is it helps your pages lay flatter, and it also helps with your spine when you close the book. Now, right now, my book is kind of, well, there's nothing in it, so it's a little flat. But what you can see is these books allow you to expand the spine so that you can include more pages. And right now, this book has 60 pages in it. The reason for that is you could realistically, in my opinion, if you have professional pictures, which I have, you could put up to 4 photographs, no more than 5, to a page. Now, with that said, each of these pages, these are double-sided pages. So I could put 4 on this side, I could put 4 on that side, and it would be visually appealing. However, sometimes you only have 1 photo if it's a 5 by 7. I also received lots of birthday cards for my birthday, and so I use that to help tell the story of this book. And I'll show you how to do that. It's a way to preserve your cards and not throw them away. They actually become a part of the story of this book. So I'm going to use all of my cards. So with that said, you need all of these extra pages because yes, I could stuff all the photographs in there, but they make photo albums where you can just stick pictures in the sleeve and that's it. You don't have to decorate it. You don't have to do anything. You just drop the photos in there. That's a photo album. This is a scrapbook. A scrapbook tells the story of whatever this book is focused on. So for example, this book is my 50th birthday book. So it's going to tell the story of that special event in my life. I have lots of those kinds of books. For example, I have one from my 30th high school reunion. I have one of just me and my sister. I have one of a fundraiser that my sorority chapter does, and so that has its own book, and I'll share with you some of those because those are the smaller books. Those are the 8 by 8 books, quick, easy books to do for special events. This, however, is a milestone book. 50 is a milestone, so I'm going to treat it like a milestone. I'm going to share with you a little bit too about my philosophy on scrapbooking. For me, scrapbooking is not just a hobby. Scrapbooking tells the story of you and your family's life. So, for example, my grandmother, my mother's mother, died very young, and I don't have very many photos of her. I think I only have maybe 2 pictures of her. And as you know, back then, photographs were not made the same way that they are today, so they were very fragile. So over the course of time, a lot of those photographs were damaged because we didn't know how to store them properly, and so I only have 2 pictures of her. I would have loved to have had an entire album like this of her, where I could get to know her as a woman, the kind of mother she was, the kinds of things that she and her family did together, her hobbies, her friends, what was important to her. So, for example, in our house we have about, maybe 40, 50 scrapbooks. We have individual scrapbooks, we have special event scrapbooks, and so you can see our family grow from, the past 20 years maybe up till now. And so for me, that's what scrapbooking is. It's all about sharing your family story. And I don't look at these as gifts for my children because, quite frankly, my children lived this. They were a part of this. For me, scrapbooking is more about future generations. So one day, perhaps, if I am blessed to have grandchildren or great-grandchildren, these books will be for them so that they can see what our lives were like. So 50 years, 60 years from now, they can see what our lives were like and how we lived, the vacations we took, and that kind of thing. So think about that as you're creating scrapbooks. These are not photo albums. Don't get confused. Now, I can show you how to change a photo album into a scrapbook, but this is a scrapbook. It has a narrative, it tells a story, and so you need to be true to that story so that when someone comes behind you and they just grab a book off the shelf, they can open it up and they can see, okay, so this was Melanie's 50th birthday. This is what she did. This is who was there. This is what they said to and about her, using the birthday cards and that kind of thing. So just think about that as you're considering making a scrapbook. So I think maybe the next time we'll talk about how to get organized, because that seems to be a huge question. Like most people, I know you have photos that are packed on your phone, or at the very most you may have uploaded them to your computer at home, but they're just sitting there. They're not doing anything. You haven't printed them out. You haven't done anything with them. And so there are many, many ways that you can deal with those photos. You can put them in photo albums. Walgreens has a process where you can actually make a hardbound book. It's a scrapbook. It's an electronic scrapbook. They call them digital scrapbooks. You can do that, and that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. For me, I like the process of trimming the photos and adding the stickers and the accessories and matting and framing the photos and creating a narrative. I like that part of the creative process. But if that's just not in you, you don't have to do that. So I can teach you how to do those as well. And so I'm going to break for now, and I'll come back and we'll get started once I get the photos and share with you some more accessories that you can use and how to buy them, and we'll go from there. Bye.